On September 10, 2024, Google launched Gemini AI for note-taking inside Google Meet. It's supposed to transcribe meetings, summarize key points, and save everything automatically. But the real question is, does it work well enough to replace other AI note-taking apps? To find out, we tested Gemini AI and compared it with Follow, an AI meeting assistant that claims to be the most accurate and secure note-taker on the market. We'll show how each tool works, test their accuracy, and see which one is actually worth using. So, keep on watching. To start, we have opened Google Meet and Gemini's Take Notes for Me feature. This option appears at the top right corner of the Google Meet interface but is only accessible to users with a Google Workspace subscription. Once enabled, Gemini begins transcribing and summarizing the conversation automatically. The first thing to notice is the lack of customization options. Gemini AI does not allow users to adjust the note-taking settings beyond starting or stopping transcription. There's no option to structure the notes in a particular way, add emphasis to important points, or highlight action items during the meeting. This means all meeting notes will be saved in a generic format without much control over how they are displayed. A short test meeting is conducted to check how accurately Gemini captures conversations. Participants discuss various topics, including a mock business meeting scenario where they plan project timelines and assign responsibilities. After the meeting ends, Gemini generates a summary and automatically saves it to Google Drive. The notes are also attached to the Google Calendar event, allowing easy access later. When reviewing the saved notes, some major limitations become apparent. The first issue is that the transcription, while mostly accurate, sometimes misinterprets words, especially technical jargon or fast-spoken phrases. The second issue is the structure. Gemini presents the notes in a basic paragraph format, making it difficult to separate key decisions from general discussion points. Unlike a human note-taker, Gemini does not intelligently break down the conversation into well-defined sections like action items, decisions, or follow-ups. Another major downside is that Gemini is limited to Google Meet. If someone wants to use AI-generated notes in Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or other platforms, they would have to rely on separate tools or manually transcribe everything. This makes Gemini restrictive for businesses or professionals who interact with clients and teams using multiple video conferencing apps. To see how a dedicated AI note-taking tool compares, Follow is tested under the same conditions. Unlike Gemini, Follow is not restricted to a single platform. It can be used with Google Meet, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and even for offline recordings. The setup process is simple, and Follow does not require a Google Workspace subscription, making it more accessible to a wider range of users. Follow is taken to the test meeting, and its AI begins working. The first thing that stands out is the enhanced real-time capabilities. Unlike Gemini, which passively transcribes without additional features, Follow actively structures the conversation. Key discussion points are automatically categorized, and action items are generated based on what is being said. A nice aspect of Follow is its ability to integrate a meeting agenda. Before the meeting begins, users can input agenda points, and Follow will structure notes get structured into chapters, action items, and decisions. This is a huge advantage over Gemini, which provides only a plain text summary without contextual organization. Follow ensures that the conversation is captured in a meaningful way, making it easier to refer back to specific topics. Speaker recognition is another key feature. In Gemini, all text is lumped together, which makes it difficult to tell who said what. Follow identifies different speakers, assigning each statement properly so that meeting participants can quickly find their own contributions or refer back to specific points made by others. This makes the transcription feel more human-like and structured. Follow supports multilingual transcription over 90 languages, enabling teams with members who speak different languages to collaborate more effectively. In contrast, Gemini only supports English, which significantly limits its usability for international businesses. After the meeting, Follow generates a structured summary that is much more detailed than Gemini's output. Instead of a single block of text, Follow breaks the notes into clear sections. Important takeaways are highlighted, action items are assigned to relevant team members, and key decisions are separated from the rest of the discussion. This organization makes it much easier to implement follow-ups without having to manually extract important details. Another feature that sets Follow apart is its interactivity. Users can redact, highlight, and comment on specific parts of the notes, making it a more collaborative tool than Gemini. Rather than simply providing a static document, Follow allows meeting participants to actively engage with their notes, ensuring that important points are not overlooked. Gemini struggles with technical discussions, often misinterpreting jargon or missing key details. For instance, during a coding issue meeting, it might fail to accurately capture specific terminology, leading to confusion in problem resolution. While it performs well in structured discussions where participants speak clearly and at a moderate pace, it tends to misinterpret overlapping speech, technical jargon, and fast-paced dialogue. Follow, on the other hand, is better at handling complex conversations. Because it recognizes different speakers, errors are easier to identify and correct. Additionally, Follow's AI refines its summaries to remove unnecessary filler words and focuses on the most relevant details. This ensures that the meeting notes are concise and actionable, rather than just a raw transcript. Formatting is another area where Follow competes with Gemini. Gemini's notes appear as an unstructured text block, requiring users to manually extract key points. Follow, however, organizes notes into clearly defined sections. Decisions, action items, and follow-up tasks are all labeled separately, making it much easier to navigate through the document. Follow also offers time-stamped summaries, which allow users to jump to relevant parts of the meeting recording without having to watch the entire session. This is especially useful for long meetings where reviewing the entire transcript is impractical. To highlight the differences, an on-screen comparison is displayed. Gemini's summary is generic and lacks depth, while Follow's summary is well-structured, with clear action points, speaker identification, and interactive elements. Another important consideration is accessibility. Gemini's meeting notes are only available inside Google Drive, and users must manually share them with other participants. If someone was not the meeting host or did not enable note-taking, they won't have access to the summary unless it is explicitly sent to them. Follow, however, ensures that meeting notes are accessible to all participants by default, eliminating the need for additional sharing steps. As we mentioned earlier, Gemini's biggest limitation is its lack of integration with other tools. Since it is built into Google Meet, it only works within the Google ecosystem. If a team uses different video conferencing platforms, they will need to find separate solutions for note-taking in those meetings. Follow, by contrast, offers a much broader range of integrations. It works easily with Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Slack, Notion, HubSpot, and several other productivity tools. Meeting notes and action items can be automatically synced with project management apps like Asana and Trello, allowing teams to transition directly from discussion to execution without manually copying information. Another area where Follow excels in task management. While Gemini simply provides a written summary, Follow allows users to assign tasks directly within the meeting notes. This eliminates the need to transfer information to a separate task management system, saving time and improving workflow efficiency. Collaboration is also smoother with Follow. Meeting participants can comment on notes, tag colleagues, and edit summaries in real time. This turns meeting notes into a dynamic resource rather than just a static document. For businesses and professionals who need a more interactive and structured approach to meeting documentation, Follow is the better choice. It not only captures discussions accurately, but also provides the tools needed to turn those discussions into actionable insights. Both tools have their strengths, but for users who need a flexible, detailed, and feature-rich AI note-taking tool, Follow is really reliable. It works across multiple platforms, supports more languages, and provides deeper meeting insights. For users already invested in Google Workspace who only need basic note-taking inside Google Meet, Gemini can be a convenient built-in solution. However, it lacks the flexibility and advanced features that Follow provides.